A big hello to our Highlights Foundation family. We're so happy to have you here with us. For those that may not know me, I'm Cat Galeano. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm the social media manager for the Highlights Foundation, joining you from Westchester, New York on the traditional lands of the CNI people. Apart from all the fun things I get to do at the Highlights Foundation, I am a writer and also a reader who is very excited to have this lunchtime chat with our friend and faculty Valerie Bolling, who will be teaching the upcoming mini picture book Beginnings and Endings, a 2-night mini. Before we dive in, I just want to remind our viewers that joining in any Highlights Foundation sessions to do so with no hate, no harm, and no harassment of any kind. And now let's get started. As an aspiring picture book writer myself, I love the topic of this webinar because who doesn't struggle with openings and closings of their picture book manuscript? So first I want to start with, what's a memorable opening that you didn't write that really brought a story to life for you?
Sure. I want to say, too, that first of all, I'm thrilled to see you, Kat. It's always a pleasure to be with you. And you're right, beginnings and endings are tough for a lot of people. And so I will give away one tip before I respond to your question. Don't just write one. You have to write a number of them. And then not only do you decide which one works best, but you have your critique partners too who help you. And sometimes you sort of merge two together to create something new. So I'll say that first. But one of my, there are so many wonderful beginnings, and if people take the class, they'll get exposed to a lot of them. But one that I really am loving right now is from Tanya Bari's book, Locks, Not Dreads. And this is going to read it to you. One crisp fall morning, Seela was feeling herself glisten. Her slide was electric as she danced down the driveway. Now, if that doesn't pull you in and get you excited and so forth, I don't know what will.
Those words just pop off the page, and I want to do a little dance with that character too. So
yeah, let's dance.
Let's dance. I love it. Oh man, we're gonna have to go and get that book too, because that opening is incredible. So I'm gonna ask you the same question, but about your own work. Can you tell us about a favorite or crucial piece, opening or closing, that you wrote in one of your own stories?
Sure. So I think I'll share another opening. And it is an opening. It's a spoiler. It's to my picture book that will come out in May, I See Color. It's co-authored with you, and the illustrator is Laylee Frazier, and it's published by HarperCollins. So a little, little commercial. So here is the first page. Cool like an autumn breeze, warm like the summer sun, steady like the night, rising like the dawn, beautiful like a quilt of stitched together stories. I see color.
Ugh. Selfishly, can I ask you to read it one more time?
Absolutely. Once the book comes out, I have a feeling I'll be reading it a lot, and I realize there's a bit of a tongue twister there with a stitched together story, but I'm happy to do it again. Cool like an autumn breeze, warm like the summer sun, steady like the night, rising like the dawn, beautiful like a quilt of stitched together stories. I see color.
I mean, wow, I got chills because all those words are just beautiful, but also I feel like we can all, as humanity, can all relate to those feelings. And I think picture books always do a really great job of that. But specifically with your opening, I was like, oh, like that warm sun, like you know what that feels like, no matter where you are, where you come from, but like you know that feeling of when you're sitting in the sun, and you just feel it, and stitch stories. Oh man, oh, I can't wait for this book. When does this one come out?
Thank you. Haley and I are really excited about it, that's for sure.
When is this one due to come out? When is it due to come out?
May 28th.
of this year?
Yes.
Ah, right around the corner,
Yeah.
friends. Let's get that summer book right on our
Yeah.
shelves. And so my last question is, why do you think it's so important to nail down your beginnings and or your ending?
Sure. So the beginning is, of course, an invitation to the reader. And it's an invitation, just as when we get an invitation to an event, we get to decide whether we want to go or not, whether we're available to go or
Mm-hmm.
not. And so this is an invitation, and if you're inviting someone in, just as if you're inviting someone to an event, you want them to be excited about it. You want them to want to be there. So the beginning creates an opportunity for the author to say, "Come in, read me." And for picture books, we want to have something that not only attracts the young reader, but the adult reader as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Read it to the child. So it should be crafted in such a way that someone wants to know more. Maybe the language, maybe someone thinks the language is beautiful. Maybe, which I hope they'll think for I See Color, that could be a pull. Maybe for Tanya's book, as you said, you felt like dancing when you read that or when
Mm-hmm.
that. So it's something that is so important because you want to pull the reader in and make the reader want to read.
Mm-hmm.
With endings, what you want to really create is something that will make the reader want to read the book
Mm-hmm.
again and again, right? How do you do that? You've got to leave them with something. You've got to leave them with something so that they'll want to come back again, so that they will remember this book. And you want to leave them with a feeling. I think the feeling could be a feeling of, oh, like this
Mm-hmm.
warm hug. It could be a feeling where you're left with a lot of questions, like, lots of things to discuss. It could be a twisty ending, something where you're like, wow, I'm surprised. I didn't expect that. But you want to create something that just is so
Mm-hmm.
memorable that people will want to read the story again and again and also share it with others.
Yeah, and it's also one of those things like, you know, a picture book you want to read again, 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 and again and again, but also every year after year after year. Because like there are picture books that I read as a child that I could still read now as an adult. So it's like that feeling of leaving that something at the end, so that someone will want to carry that book throughout their life and pass it on to all their friends or their kids or their friends'
Yeah.
kids and whatnot. So I love that. And I also love that you touched on the fact that like it's so important to write many different picture books. Like if one is not working, write a different picture book. But I also think it's important to read all the picture books, because reading educates you so much on what's working, what's not working. Like you see your manuscript and you're like, why isn't this working? Like perhaps go to the library and see other books and read and see what is trending and what's not trending, or what is working and what isn't working. So I love that you touched on just writing and writing and writing and also reading, because
Yes, you have to read. And as I said, for those who take this course, the way I teach the course is to show beginnings from books and to
mm-hmm.
show endings from books. And I'm hoping that people will derive inspiration, right? These will serve as mentor texts. And I made a commitment to highlight authors from diverse
Mm-hmm.
backgrounds, books I share. I also have rhyming, I have fiction, I have nonfiction, right? Because we all
Yes.
write different types of books. So you need to see model beginnings and endings in a variety of formats.
Oh, that's amazing. I didn't even think about that. So I'm really glad you highlighted that you'll be showing different examples from diverse authors, from sort of just like a collection of all the wonderful stuff out there, so people can see the different avenues they can
Yeah.
try.
Yeah.
That's all I have today. Do you have anything you want to add?
Nope,
No?
not at all.
Wonderful.
people, so I want to respect it. We said we would keep it short, so we'll keep it short. But maybe you want to tell people how they can sign up, Kat.
Yes.
You can
Yes.
put something in the comments or anything like that, a link to
Perfect.
registration.
So that's sort of my outro. So if you'd like to learn from Valerie, make sure to sign up for her class, Picture Book Beginnings and Endings, a 2-night mini taking place March 5th and 7th. You can register on our website, highlightsfoundation.org. And lastly, you can purchase Valerie's books at our virtual bookshop powered by bookshop.org. Thank you, Valerie, for joining us today. We cannot wait to see you online.
Thank you so much. And I actually did think of one other thing,
Oh,
if I may.
sure.
I
Please.
I also teach my own picture book classes, and actually today I'm sending out an email for the spring session. So if anyone is listening and interested, they should email me. They can contact me through my author website, or I'll quickly give my email here. It's Valerie Bolling author at gmail.com. But they can
Perfect.
also just do it straight from the page on my website. So if you want to be that, those classes will be starting in March. It's a 6-week session. Even if you can't make that session, if you want to be added to my email list for future sessions, please let me know.
Yes, there you go. You can find Valerie across her socials or on her website, and she just shared her email. So thank you so much,
You're
Valerie. We
welcome.
hope to see you online soon.
Bye.